Good morning. Welcome. It is a new week. It is my father's birthday. It is a whole new set of opportunities to close the gap between where we are and where the true self inside of us wants to be. And I'm excited to, go after all of that with you guys here. Hope you had a great weekend. Hope you had a safe weekend. And I hope you're ready because we pick up. It's a full steam of holiday season. So make sure that you got your, mental wellness routine in check. Make sure you have your patience exercises and breathing exercises in check because it's that time of the year where you feel like your head is spinning and you've got to visit all these different family members, and maybe some of them stress you out, maybe some of them bring back trauma that you haven't quite worked through yet. So just sending out love during this time, during this season, during this period, as well as making sure that everybody's equipped with the tools to continue to do what we do here within this community and this vibe that we continue to foster. I'm your host for the Premarket Prep session, Adam Holland. We've been here doing this for a while in this format, and I'm excited all the good that it's built. Um, and I'm looking forward to, the spirit continuing to live on. We go over the Wall Street Breakfast newsletter here each and every morning. And I try and give my 2 cents and my insight into, kind of what the economic calendar has in store for the week, how we need to handle it, the expectations, and things like that. So I'm at a point now too where I'm trying to figure out if I want to continue to do this via live stream or maybe do it via email, because number one, the newsletters are getting a lot shorter, so there's not as much we have to cover during these sessions. And number two, not everybody can take the time to watch it via video. So as nice and as fun as video is, it might be something that's better off, kind of going out via email with quick, important summary points, and that way it's kind of accessible to everyone, because I noticed that everybody is kind of has different circumstances, different working circumstances. So just laying the groundwork for that, that's something that I'm thinking about. And as much fun as it is, popping in here, meeting via video, I also do want this to be like widely available to everyone in a format that is easily palatable, right? Maybe you can't sit there and be on YouTube at your job, but you can sit there and read an email, right? So maybe, it lives on in the form of that. But just something I've been thinking about, and something that, kind of allows it to be even more convenient for people who want to get this information, because we throw out a lot of good information here, right? Talking about Bitcoin building toward its breakout, talking about the explosion of AI, talking about how markets tend to behave after rate cuts. Like, all that stuff is really important information, and I want as many people to have access to that as possible. We drop golden nuggets here constantly, and we're going to drop more this morning. And regardless of what the form of it takes moving forward, those nuggets will continue to be dropped, because I have one setting, right? It's providing value. And I'm excited to continue expressing that setting each and every day for everyone that wants it. Because I'm a firm believer that, again, if you're trying to get anything done in this world, the resources are there to do it. Right. There is someone talking about what you need to learn. There is some strategy. There is some exercise. There is some skill. Right. There is anything that you need to learn is right there at your fingertips. And I realize that whether I'm that for one person or five people or 10 people or 100 or 1,000 people, right, any little impact that you make makes a huge difference in people's lives. So I want to, try to continue to do that as much as possible, but also do it in a way that reaches the most people. So, yeah, you guys might hear more about that, but just want to let you know what's on my mind on this fine Monday as we head into, Thanksgiving and all of that. It's my dad's birthday today. Would not be here without that amazing man. Some of you all know him. If you don't, you know him by knowing me. And every positive part of me comes from that man, really comes from my parents. But my dad is a huge influence, a huge role model. So grateful to be able to celebrate him yet last night, and also to honor him today. And he inspires me. His patience, like how I am, I did not have patience like I do now preaching patience, right? Like preaching patience, that came from exercising it and like building up that skill. And I learned that from him, right? Not panicking, I learned that from him. So for all my people that get weird and panicky in markets and, oh, this position's red and, oh, I didn't know this and all, it's never the end of the world, right? That's something my dad taught me. It's never the end of the world, right? Control what you can control. I quote him all the time to you guys. I'm just, kind of regurgitating what he's told me, but it's huge. Control what you can control. Make sure that you plan, right? Make sure that you inspect what you expect. That's huge with trading, right? Inspect what you expect. Oh, I expect this thing to break out. Okay, did it actually break out? Did it seal the breakout? Did it hold where you need it? Right? Set that alert. If it goes off and the breakout doesn't happen, set that alert again, right? Inspect what you expect. Move in excellence, but also still move, right? Execute. It doesn't have to be perfect. Make sure that you plan. Don't do anything shoddy or halfway, but make sure that you plan, right? So if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. All of that stuff goes into how I navigate markets and what makes me great at not only doing that, but being able to relay that information to you guys, right? It's not easy taking dozens of people and everybody is trying to manage positions and being able to do that, right? But I'm able to do that because of the patience I learned from him. So whenever I preach patience, it's coming from him, and that is the biggest asset you can have in your arsenal when it comes to markets. But Monday, you guys know the drill. It's our deluxe session. So we're going over the important information for the week, as well as any Monday specific news. And we hit that, economic calendar for the week as well to make sure that we know what's happening, what's going on. So we're going to start out with the week ahead, of course. And this is from this is a little old guy. This is from the Wall Street Breakfast newsletter, which you can sign up for literally just on, Wall Street Breakfast website or Seeking Alpha's website. Sorry. But yeah, if you sign up for Seeking Alpha's, if you go and sign up for that newsletter on Seeking Alpha's website, you get an email to you each and every week, right? And every day that these comes out like Sunday, which is the week ahead. And then Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, like they come out with something talking about the news. Recently it hasn't been a whole lot, so that's one of the reasons why I'm also fine with moving my analysis of this to a text format because it's not as much for us to talk about and it can very nicely and neatly fit into an email. Now, going into the week ahead, top news it's been building. Semis, they've been getting bought up, and we'll see if the reason why is revealed this week. A chunk of the spotlight this week will be dominated by NVIDIA, the world's largest publicly listed company by market cap, gears up for its fiscal third quarter results scheduled on Wednesday. The chip maker has continuously delivered blowout numbers since the artificial intelligence boom, amid soaring demand for its chips that can power complex AI processes, and its quarterly reports have become market moving events. Aside from NVIDIA, investors will also get an idea on the state of the consumer from retail giants Walmart and Target's earnings. The economic calendar is fairly light this week. Market participants will receive updates on the housing market along with initial jobless claims, flash PMI readings in manufacturing, flash PMI readings on manufacturing, and the services sector will grab attention on Friday. There are also several Federal Reserve officials that will be giving speeches, and their comments will be parsed, especially after recent data and comments from Chair Jerome Powell caused a reassessment of the central bank's pace of interest rate cuts. Yeah, Powell spoke, and you guys know how that went, right? A lot of people didn't really like necessarily what he had to say, so maybe we listen even more intently to what these other members of the Fed have to say this week. But overall, a lighter economic calendar, which is nice. But all eyes will definitely be on Nvidia's earnings. Last week, semis kept getting this bullish volume. Semiconductors, right? That computer chip space kept getting this bullish volume, but not really doing anything with it. And they showed some relative strength, but not a whole lot. And now, kind of everyone is waiting to see as you examine like QCOM and Taiwan Semiconductor, right, which was still getting volume on Friday. We tried to trade Taiwan Semi, and Taiwan Semi didn't want to act right, right? Part of that was on me, 100%, because we were waiting for Taiwan Semi to show us something, right? Show us that inflection point of the bulls taking back charge from the bears after that, short-term downtrend on the hourly and the 4 hour, and looked like we were going to bust it. Normally, I wait until that happens. I didn't this time, right? So this is another kind of notch in the belt for patience, learning patience, and taking time to do that. But then Taiwan Semi wants to drop, right? Calls us to close the position for loss. Not fun, but it's something that we still keep our eye on as we approach Nvidia earnings because depending on how Nvidia does, right, it could lift this whole sector. And you had a lot of software names that were seeing bullish action, Snowflake, Datadog, and then you also had these semiconductor companies like Nvidia and all these different names. Taiwan Semiconductor, that we're getting this bullish volume. So we'll see, right? We get the fireworks on Wednesday, so we'll see if Nvidia can live up to the crazy high standard that it set for itself. In terms of earnings this week, November 18th, Monday, today, right? Trip.com, Symbotic, Brady Corp, no real big names. Tuesday, we have Walmart and Lowe's. Those are big. Keysight Technologies, whose ticker is Keys. And then we have Viking Holdings as well. Wednesday, the big day, November 20th. NVIDIA, TJX, which is TJ Maxx, Palo Alto Networks with PA&W, right? Big long-term position for us. Target, ticker TGT, and Snowflake, ticker Snow. Thursday, Intuit, Deere and Company, John Deere, right? NetApp, ticker NTAP, and BJ's Wholesale Club. Then Friday, the Buckle and Global Blue Group Holding. Yeah, so don't know any of those, but they're all reporting here this week. And let me see too. Okay. I wanted to double check here and make sure. Yes. So also not this week, my bad, for Thanksgiving. I got my weeks mixed up. Thanksgiving, November 28th, right? Thursday, November 28th. When was that? That was 2024. Yep. Thursday, November 28th. Okay, so we got some time. 10 days out until Thanksgiving. So we get a nice full week this week. I got my weeks mixed up, turned around. But let's look at what we have in terms of the rest of the things on the docket for this week. Buffett's Q3 buys and sells, Wells Fargo focus list, the EV market that sucks, almost time to buy again, Citi on chip stocks, the most overbought and oversold assets around the world. Not really interested in any of that. So we're going to shift to our economic calendar for this week, which again is light. Chicago Fed President Austin Goolsbee welcoming remarks at 10 a.m. today. I don't think that does anything crazy. Housing starts, building permits on Tuesday. We've got Goolsbee speaking again at 12:25 Wednesday. A few different Fed governors, but nothing that looks to really be super impactful. At 11 a.m., Governor Lisa Cook speaks. 12:15, Governor Michelle Bowman. These are Fed governors, right? So members of the Federal Reserve who have power over interest rates, right? Thursday, jobless claims. What else? 10 a.m. existing home sales, 10 a.m. leading economic index. Fed, yeah, Michael Barr speaking at 4:40. Kansas City Fed President Jeff Schmidt speaks, or Schmid speaks at 1:10. Then Friday, S&P Flash U.S. Services PMI. So in consumer sentiment. So I think that Friday is going to be the biggest day. It's definitely a light week on the economic calendar, which is nice because you don't have to worry about inflation data or anything like that. Throwing a wrench into your analysis or your expectations for the week, given price action and what the charts show you. Friday is, the most significant day in that we have consumer sentiment data at 10 a.m. and then at 9:45 a.m. we get flash U.S. Manufacturing PMI and services PMI. So like those are those things where it's like you can get some fresh, after the opening bell volatility at like 9:45 a.m. and 10 a.m. But that's the biggest of the week. So I need to make myself some more tea. I went and got it last week. It was stomach, right? Had a crazy stomach bug, and then Saturday night, started feeling my throat go crazy, and then Sunday I woke up and it's just like static. It's static pain. So it's just, yeah, it's that time of year, y'all. So stay up, right? Hit that vitamin C if you're like me and your immune system, isn't the strongest. And those words are dead. They fall on dead ground. I have the strongest immune system in the land. But if you're like me and it just might need a little extra support, make sure that you're doing with that whatever you need on your end. Supplements and vitamins and all that, because it is most definitely that time of year. I need to go get some more of that like throat numbing spray, throat soothing spray. Top news, fears of World War III. So now we're moving into our Monday specific news. So with economic sanctions against Russia not doing their intended job, the Biden administration is upping the ante by turning to more conventional warfare. Authorization has been granted to use U.S. supplied long range missiles inside Russia, which includes the use of Army Tactical Missile System or ATACMs. It's part of a tit for tat escalation that the U.S. has directed to prevent NATO members from being drawn into conflict. But only time will tell if the moves on the chessboard will play out. Now, background information: the situation in Ukraine has continued to deteriorate in recent months, moving into a deeper war of attrition. That means it's a war where you're just trying to outlast your opponent. War of time. Ukraine surprised Russia with a counteroffensive that saw it seize hundreds of miles of territory in the Kursk region. In response, Vladimir Putin turned to North Korea for fresh troops and has included them in the 50,000 soldiers it has positioned in the area to reclaim lost land. Sheesh. Meanwhile, drone attacks and missile barrages, reading is difficult this morning. Meanwhile, drone attacks and missile barrages have continued to fly over the border, knocking out electricity in some Ukrainian regions this weekend and prompting the powering down of atomic reactors. It's not the first U-turn the U.S. has made in supplying more advanced weapons to Kiev. Other reversals have included heavy artillery, M1 Abrams tanks, the Patriot missile defense system, and eventually F-16 fighter jets. Since February 2022, America has provided Ukraine with more than $175 billion in aid to avoid explicit participation in the conflict. But Vladimir Putin has warned that the use of long range missiles would mean the direct involvement of NATO countries, essentially war, right? Just straight up war. We're already at war with Russia, but this would just be outright like, okay, we're not going to dance around it. We're just beefing, right? We're literally in a direct conflict. And that also draws in NATO allies, right? I thought I had some nose spray over there. I'm gonna get that after this. This congestion coming in a little bit. Peace talks, the latest maneuvering, comes as President-elect Donald Trump returns to the White House with a promise to have the war settled within 24 hours. German Chancellor Olaf Scholz also spoke to Putin on Friday for the first time in 2 years, despite backlash from Ukraine and Poland. While Turkey's let's see here, Recep Erdogan will reportedly propose a peace deal today at the G20 summit. The framework would prohibit Ukraine from joining NATO for at least 10 years, freeze the conflict on current battle lines, station international troops in a demilitarized eastern Donbas, and guarantee military supplies to Ukraine. So there's the latest update, which is a significant update. I mean, the fact that we are upping the ante to conventional warfare and just straight up using army tactical missiles against Ukraine. It's not even like, okay, we're going to just give them to Ukraine. I think we're using them just on them, which again just feels like straight up war. So I don't know where the line is drawn, but it's like, hey, I'm gonna shoot missiles at this country. Are we at war with this country? No, but I'm shooting missiles at them, and they're recovering the bodies of U.S. Special Forces fighters in Russia. We're just at war with Russia, and essentially by proxy, North Korea at this point. So we'll see. We'll see how everything shakes out. What else is happening? We got our rapid fire stock news rundown. I'm going to go over what today's markets are looking like first. Mixed bag. In Asia, Japan down 1.1%, Hong Kong up 0.8, China down 0.2, India down 0.3. London, we're up 0.1, Paris down 0.4, Frankfurt down 0.4, Dow down 0.3, S&P up 0.1, NASDAQ up 0.4, crude up 0.7%, gold up 1.1%, Bitcoin down 0.2%. Today's economic calendar, we already said super light, Goolsby at 10 a.m. That's pretty much the only thing. So, rapid fire stock news rundown. That'll close us out here. So, what else is happening? Will Supermicro file compliance plan to maintain NASDAQ listing? Xi Jinping, Biden discuss Trump 2.0 red lines, which is AI and nukes, I'm guessing. Uh, FTC says spam call complaints are down more than 50% since 2021. That's good. Unfortunately, scamming is still at an all-time high. First Mpox case linked to African outbreak reported in the U.S. Not fun. Oil executive Chris Wright chosen to be Trump's energy secretary in Mike Tyson versus Jake Paul fight. It's Netflix that went down. Yeah, I did not waste my time watching that fight. That's just how it goes now. These like boxing matches and everything. It's just like it's an exhibition and it's not for real. It's a crazy money grab and they get you to stay up all late. I was watching some Survivor with the fam, went to sleep, slept well. Apparently Netflix was buffering, you couldn't maintain the stream and all that. Yeah, I have absolutely no interest. Um, and that's not saying that, oh man, like, let me we open up and go get puts on Netflix. Maybe. I'm saying explicitly that I'm not saying that, right? Because I know a lot of you might have selective hearing. You're like, all I heard from Adam was go get puts on Netflix. That is not at all what I'm saying. I'm saying that maybe that causes Netflix to go down. I have no real interest in Netflix currently or trading Netflix. I'm looking to make sense of kind of what markets want to do as we head into Nvidia earnings, because again, this is the biggest company by market cap in the world. So significant, very significant earnings. Gold sees biggest weekly drop since 2021 as Fed in no rush to cut rates. BOJ, which is the Bank of Japan, signals hikes ahead, but uncertainty over timing weighs on yen. Trump team eyes easing self-driving rules in boost for Tesla. Yeah, Musk and Trump trying to work it out, both with these, two kind of alpha butt face energy type of thing, right? I don't know how long it'll last. I doubt that it lasts for super long. Just based off both their personalities, it doesn't seem like they could kind of co-manage whatever the situation is they have going on. But it's looking like it's going to be a, at least try and scratch my back, I scratch yours type of thing. So maybe that works well in Tesla's long run. We shall see, but only time will tell, right? Speaking of time, I'm glad you got to spend some this morning investing in yourself, getting 1% better. That's the best investment that you'll ever make. I'm excited to continue to do so, right? Stay up to date. Keep checking your email. We'll see, kind of how this format looks for this moving forward. But with these shorter newsletters, it might be a little bit easier and also provide value to more people to kind of shift this into text, as fun as it is sitting here and being able to hop on live with you guys every morning, and as used as I've gotten to it. But listen, regardless, let's keep crushing it, closing the gap between where we are and where we're meant to be. We got a whole new week, a whole new set of opportunities, right? And how are you living? Are you living under the thumb of fear, or are you living under the thumb of your own ambition, right? What are we doing? What's driving us? I want my inner drive to be pushing me forward, not my fear to be boxing me in. So I'm committed this week to taking action in that vein, and I'm excited to do that with all you guys too. Right? Much love, everybody. I'm excited for this week. I'll see you back here tomorrow morning for our next pre-market prep session. Have a good one.